All right, welcome everybody to the show. Obviously, talking about the Super Bowl, and now football season is over. I think everyone is upset about that, and obviously, including myself. But what a game! I think it's one of those games that I don't think the public thought this would ever happen. You know, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Los Angeles Rams. Orange versus blue and yellow, but the uniform matchups ended to be black and white versus white on white. It was definitely just weird, aesthetically weird to look at these two teams play against each other in this big game. But it prevailed. It was a great game. Sort of low scoring, 43 total points. But I think it was really all we could have asked for. I think that was the one of the best games we could have gotten out of this matchup. I think it could have definitely been a blowout on the Rams side. I didn't really see the Bengals in any fashion blowing out the Rams, but I saw two things that are happening, and I was wrong in both because obviously there's a third thing that happened. I either thought Bengals win a close game or Rams win by 10 to 14 points, and that did not happen. And obviously the Rams still won only by 3 points. So the Bengals, they did cover that 4.5 spread. And a lot of it's got to go to that Rams D line. They turned up in that second half. Anytime it was third and manageable for the Bengals, Aaron Donald or Von Miller, Ashawn Robinson, Ernest Jones, they all said, no, you're not getting this first down. Or no, Bengals will get to the red zone. No, you're not scoring this touchdown. You're kicking a field goal. And that's the plays that really changed the outcome of the game, obviously. And obviously also that PAT missed that the Rams missed. That really helped out the Bengals as well. Being down 3 points is a big difference than being down three, which obviously the Bengals were. But the Rams all day long could not run the football. They got nowhere. Cam Akers was getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage after every single rush. He had 13 carries for 21 yards. He wasn't even averaging 2 yards a carry. Darrell Henderson came in there and ran the ball decently. I mean, he only had a couple carries, but he's very effective catching the football. I think he caught 2 wheel routes from the backfield for big gains for first downs. But that OBJ injury, I feel so bad for Odell. I hope it's a great recovery. I hope everything's all right with him. I'm glad he got his ring. Well deserved. He balled out for the couple plays he had, kind of like Jameson Williams in the national championship game. I don't really know what the reason for that is, but I saw Debo's tweet, Debo Samuel of the San Francisco 49ers. He said that we should just stop playing on turf in general. I don't know how much I agree with that. Obviously, I'm not a professional player. I used to play in turf grass. I didn't really notice a difference injury-wise. But there's a reason why they're playing the game at the highest level, and I'm sitting down talking about it. So we'll leave it at that. But on to the game. Jalen Ramsey, like what I said the last week about the AFC NFC Championship games, he is overrated. I don't care. All I hear is, even though he's the best corner in the game, Jalen Ramsey, one of the best in the game, he's always getting burnt. I mean, the T. Higgins thing, he did grab him a little bit, but he also grabbed T for the red zone almost interception he had on the second drive of the game or so, I'm pretty sure, when Joe B rifled it in on like a slant, and Ramsey was like on him, and he caught it like this, but then he fell. But you could clearly see that he's grabbing his jersey, and they're saying, "Oh, it's the Super Bowl. You can't call those." Well, yeah, you didn't call it, and guess what? Then that happened, and the Bengals scored a touchdown. So I don't want to hear him complain because everyone has their fair share of tugging around on each other, and then you can't even say the ball don't lie, because guess what happened the next play? Matt Stafford threw an interception. It wasn't really his fault, which I'm going to get to. Skoranek, number 18 in the Rams, he needs to go. I don't care if every single receiver gets injured on this team next year. Hopefully not. He needs to go. This is 2 straight games with huge drops with big implications against the Bucks in the divisional round. dropped a wide open touchdown pass. And then obviously last night drops another pass which leads into an interception. Little things like that just cannot happen when you're an NFL receiver playing on the biggest stage. You have one job, especially when you're open. It's one thing if you're not open, but when you have at least 3 steps on somebody like he did against the Bucks, and he had at least 1 step on the Bengals. But the ball was a little bit in front, but I think he's got to catch that ball. But anyways, the Bengals, I love what they did all game. They didn't really switch it up. They're definitely one of those teams where they need a big play to really get it going, which is 100% the truth. I mean, you saw what happened, that 50-yard play, I think even more to T. Higgins. But what I loved what the Bengals have been doing in this postseason particularly is that they're able to manageably drive down the field and not just rely on those big plays. Obviously, they had two Jamar as well earlier in the game to set them up with that first touchdown. But I love how they're able to run the ball consistently. They don't go away from the game plan. They're going to pound the rock with Mixon. He's going to get the ball at least 15 times a game, and he's going to get a couple 10-yard or more rushes, which he showed. I think he had 3 probably 10 to 13-yard rushes, which is really good. I love they would run the ball, play action, let the game go through Joey B's hands. He knows what to do. He had no turnovers. He's very good with the football. Obviously, they lost the turnover battle. Well, they won the turnover battle 2-0, and they still lost the game. Usually that's not how it works. So maybe capitalization is something that they got to improve on. If you get a turnover, you got to get some points on the board. And they did, but unfortunately in this instance, they kind of needed to score a touchdown, and twice they got denied in the red zone. But the Rams D-line, it's funny because they can rush the passer all day long. Joe Burrow, his offensive line, I mean, who really knows how good of a pass rush they have? Obviously, 9 sacks against the Titans. You saw what happened last night. But for them to run the ball, they always get positive yards. Mixon was averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Mixon had 15 carries for 72 yards. Like, that's really good, especially when you're only losing the game by 3 points. I don't think the game could have been used. I don't think Mixon could have been used more than he was. I think the game plan was kind of pretty equal, and it was working out for sort of the most part. But it's just funny how a team with a not-so-great offensive line can run the ball but can't pass block. It makes sense. Obviously, the defensive linemen are driving and just putting all their energy to sack the quarterback in a lot of instances and running the ball. They're kind of going right by you. You have to make a play really, really quickly. So I understand, but Bryce Hopkins, another unfortunate injury for the Rams. Kendall Blanton, I don't know. After like the first quarter, he just was on the bench the whole time. I don't know if it was hurt or whatever, but Bryce Hopkins stepped up, hit 4 catches, 47 yards, a lot of first downs too, which is really the most important part about that. But I have one question. Like I said before, Bengals are running the ball pretty well. Why is it that on the last 2 downs of the game, you have that 3rd and 1, and then you have the 4th and 1? P. Ryan is your running back both times. I mean, Mixon's your captain. Mixon's your guy. This is the Super Bowl. I get it if you have maybe a thing of 3rd down backs or so, but P. Ryan already had a 3rd and 1 attempt earlier in the game, and he didn't get it. He had 2 carries all game long, both on 3rd and 1s, and he didn't get both of them. I mean, I think Mixon has just got to be on that 3rd and 1, if not definitely the 4th and 1. 100%, no question, he's got to be on that 4th and 1 play. Unfortunately, maybe it was the package. I'm not sure. I don't think Mixon was probably even thinking twice of that. I'm sure he wanted to be on the field, but I'm sure he's not thinking, oh, if I'm on the field, we're going to lose. It's just, I don't understand. When Mixon's your guy, he's getting good positive yards every carry. Why is he not in the game the last 2 drives? The last 2 plays of the game. But Stafford and Kupp, they were in the last drive of the game for the Rams, and they were fantastic. That was one of the greatest performances of a QB receiver when everyone else is down. The defense knows where the ball's going, and you still can't stop it. Because Stafford, I think, hit Kupp 3 or 4 times in that drive for at least 40 yards and a touchdown to win the Super Bowl. If you can't stop that, they say defense wins champions. And obviously, the last drive of the game, Aaron Donald stepped up, sacked Joey B. Unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, I'm happy for Matt Stafford. I'm happy for Aaron Donald. I'm happy for Sean McVay. Not really happy for Jalen Ramsey, but that's okay. It's still pretty cool to win a Super Bowl. I'd be in the spot too and be talking crap if I was him. But very happy for this Rams organization. Congratulations to them. They definitely deserved it. Nothing, you can't take it away for the rest of their lives. No excuses. They are Super Bowl champions for the rest of their lives, this team. And it sucks to see Burrow and the Bengals lose like this, but they'll be back. This is a healthy team. It's a good team, young team, and they kind of just need a couple more pieces to really keep this dominance, hopefully for the next couple of years. Obviously, an offensive line, I think that's got to be your main priority going into next season. But hopefully you can keep this defense together. Definitely another linebacker in there. I think that would be a big help for the defense, but what a year. What a way to cap off the 2021 NFL season. I'm already excited for the next season. I'm excited for free agency. The draft, excited for that. I wonder who's going to pick who. Jaguars won, and the Rams 32. So here we go. On to next year, to a nice little long offseason of no football, and what are we all going to do with our lives? But that's going to be it for the show. Thank you to everyone that's listening and or watching. I'm Tyler Purdy, and I'll talk to you guys next time.